Our story kicks off with our girl Kaori, the main character. She and her besties are on summer break in Okinawa, because obviously that's where every anime character goes to die. Have a life-changing epiphany. First up, there's Erika, Kaori's designated hookup buddy, strictly there for the 18+ content. Then we've got Aki, who's basically what you'd get if Velma from Scooby-Doo turned into a germophobic anime nerd. As you can see, Erika had already hooked them up with some local duck boys for the special video they are making. She proudly told Kaori she'd booked one for each of them, suggesting they go full foursome ogre. And of course, she volunteered Aki to film it, because who else but the resident filthy-minded otaku? On their way to Kaori's fiancé's uncle's guest house, the girls agreed to keep their little duck boy escapade under wraps, no need for her fiancé to know. As they reached the guest house, our fat Velmist asked if anyone else smelled something weird. Kaori ignored her and opened the door, only to be smacked in the face by the stench of rotten fish. Erika, gagging dramatically, accused fat Velma of farting. Velma denied it, insisting she was saving her farts for late-night escapees. Kaori clutched her tetus as she stepped into the house, immediately rushing to crack open the windows for some much-needed fresh air. As they were settling in, something out of nowhere pounced on fat Velma's squishy assets. She let out a startled moan, her tucked-in farts loose as she lost her balance and plopped right onto whatever tried to riz her up. Crushed under Velma's earth-shattering weight, the poor thing instantly gave up on life. When she finally hauled her dump truck off, the girls were stunned to see what it actually was. A fish. But not just any fish. This one had freaking metal legs and walked like it had somewhere to be. The girls were stunned, but Kaori and Erika were so laser-focused on getting their vacation flings that they shrugged off the weird fish warning and chucked the metal-legged creature straight into the trash. Right before her solo playtime with her 18+ toys, Kaori called up her fiancé, asking for some cash to fix the AC in her room. Her fiancé, aka the ultimate NPC, was busy recording frog moans for his uncle's weird research project. He found the request a bit sus, considering the AC was already fixed. Heck, he'd patched it up himself with duct tape and hope. While they were chatting, we see the same bag, the one that had the sleeping fish, floating off toward fish heaven. Meanwhile, back to our NPC fiancé, he felt a pang of doubt in his heart, but still sent Kaori the money anyway. The next day, as Kaori and Erika were prepping for their wild foursome rehearsal, Kaori asked fat Velma where she'd stashed the condoms. Velma casually replied that she hadn't brought any, per Erika's request. Suddenly, the doorbell rang. Enter Duckboy 1 and 2. Kaori pulled Erika aside fuming and demanded to know why Velma hadn't brought any condoms. Erika shrugged and said they should go raw for authenticity, for the content. That's when we learned the real twist. Erika and Kaori secretly run an Only Otaku page where they post their NSFW photos and videos for a niche, thirsty fanbase. Kaori explained it wasn't her safe week. Erika, ever the problem solver, suggested she use the back door instead. But Kaori, who was saving that for a higher purpose, declined and backed out of the foursome. She blamed Velma for being clueless. Velma fired back, saying she didn't want Kaori doing this kind of stuff now that she was engaged. Kaori stood her ground, insisting that as long as she used protection, there was nothing wrong with it. In the bedroom, Duckboy 1 looked a little bummed. He'd missed his shot at a collab with Kaori. The remaining trio began rehearsing for the big performance. As Duckboy 1 leaned in for some mouth-to-mouth PPR action, he caught a whiff of sweet cigarette smoke lingering in the air. Duckboy 1 and 2 were well aware of the dark side of drugs and anything that smelled like them. So when Erika leaned in for mouth-to-mouth rehearsal, they backed off, insisting she wash her mouth first. Erika refused, claiming she doesn't believe in mouth hygiene. According to her, it's all a scam cooked up by so-called mouth doctors, who, in her words, aren't even real doctors. Out of nowhere, Mr. Sark burst in and launched an attack. He came in search of his little brother. His intentions were clear. He wants his brother back. Erika managed to escape his grimy grasp, but Sark wasn't backing down. He broke into their room, trying to intimidate them so they tell the truth. That's when Kaori, our main character, stepped in and told they killed him. Mr. Sark lunged at her, but missed. Unable to handle his brother's sudden death, Mr. Sark spiraled into dramatic depression and gave up on life. Mr. Sark's sudden death sent shockwaves through the Fish Society, sparking an underwater uprising against humanity. From the depths of Okinawa, fish began to rise, united by one mission: ultimate freedom. They dreamed of a world untouched by humans, where gills ruled and legs were optional. As they watched TV, breaking news flashed. A full-blown war between fish and humans had officially begun. Just then, Kaori got a call from her NPC fiancé. He was furious, having just realized she'd been lying. Panicked, Kaori tried to pin it all on Erika, but the NPC wasn't buying it. He'd checked the electric meter himself and the AC was working just fine. Kaori quickly realized he hadn't uncovered her real motive yet, but then came the twist. He announced he was heading over to join them. Kaori freaked out, and that's when it happened. A Gen Z Sark launched a surprise attack on the NPC. Kaori quickly realized the NPC had been unalived. Things were spiraling fast, and she knew the only way out was to flee the country. She packed her stuff, swiped all of Fat Velma's cash, dropped an F-bomb on the whole mess, and bolted straight for the airport. At the airport, every plane was packed. Clearly, most people had the same idea: get out of the country and save their own ass. With no other option, Kaori decided to head back to Tokyo. As she waited, a stranger gave her a long, suspicious look, like he might have seen her somewhere before. Back at the house, Erika decided to keep rehearsing and bluntly told Fat Velma she wasn't needed for recording anymore, which hit Velma right in the feels. Meanwhile, the bed scene was in full swing. Duck Boy 1 and 2 were moving in sync from both sides, crafting what Erika proudly called the masterpiece of a threesome. Her dedication was unmatched. Even with an injured foot, she powered through the routine. At one point, she even scolded Duck Boy 1 for being too slow, like a true perfectionist. By pure coincidence, Kaori ended up seated next to that same stranger who turned out to be her very first, only otaku subscriber. His name? Shirakawa. A self-proclaimed erotic NTR novelist with a cult following and questionable morals. Trying to flex on Kaori, Shirakawa casually mentioned that he was planning to escape Japan using his own personal boat. Kaori, sensing a golden ticket out of Fish Uprising, decided to tag along. Back at the cottage, Erika casually headed to the bathroom for a dump, because even chaos needs a bathroom break. Meanwhile, on the plane, real terror had begun. The runway was swarming with protester fish, rising up in full rebellion. The plane landed straight into the scaly crowd, triggering a crash that no one saw coming. Running late for lunch, Fat Velma knocked on Erika's bedroom door. Erika had crashed hard after rehearsal. As Velma stepped inside, she was hit by a bizarre cocktail of smells: human sperm, pussy juice, and sweat, all lingering in the air like a failed science experiment. Worried, Fat Velma called out to Erika, but when she pulled back the bedsheet, she froze. Erika had transformed into a full-blown green goblin. No warning, no explanation, just goblin mode activated. Shocked, Fat Velma asked the goblin where Erika was. The goblin stared back and said, "I am Erika." Turns out Mr. Sark had cursed her, transforming her into a chunky goblin. And that weird lingering smell? Apparently it was her goblin fart, radiating like a tragic perfume of doom. While Erika and Velma wrestled with curses and goblin drama, Kaori and Shirakawa barely escaped with single-digit aura points, pure plot armor. As they sprinted toward the city, chaos unfolded around them. Fish protesters were now full-on brawling with civilians. It wasn't just a riot, it was a fish-level uprising. Out of nowhere, an octopus launched itself at Shirakawa like it had beef from a past life. With zero hesitation, it yeeted him straight into Truck Kun. Then, it turned its slimy wrath toward Kaori. Watching Kaori get attacked in a weirdly sensual way, Shirakawa, ever the twisted novelist, got a little too excited. But then, channeling his inner action hero, he slammed Truck Kun into reverse and ran over this octopus, claiming its slimy life. Terrified and starving, Fat Velma bolted for her life, but Erika wasn't done yet. She launched a surprise body slam, pinning Velma to the floor like a cursed WWE champ. With tears and goblin goo in her eyes, Erika begged Velma to break the curse with a kiss. Velma recoiled, refusing flat out. "I'm not kissing goblin cheeks," she muttered, backing away like her soul depended on it. Fat Velma finally revealed her backstory. She never saw Erika as a friend. It was all about the money. Fueled by years of fake smiles and bottled-up resentment, she kicked Erika and threw in some brutal body shaming for good measure. But even that didn't cool her rage. So, in a moment of pure villain arc energy, she grabbed an ashtray and swung it with intent to end Erika's cursed goblin saga once and for all. But there was a problem. Fish protesters had witnessed the whole thing. Their beady eyes locked onto Fat Velma like she was the MILF in an old age home. With no other option, Velma bolted from the crime scene, flippers and fins flapping in the hot pursuit. For the night, Kaori and Shirakawa broke into an old lady's house. Don't ask how, it just happened. The poor granny got mildly roughed up in the confusion, and the duo claimed her couch like it was Airbnb, Apocalypse Edition. Later, Shirakawa tried to riz Kaori up with his signature NTR novelist charm, but she wasn't having it. Not tonight. Not with fish riots on her mind. The next day, Kaori and Shirakawa arrived at her NPC fiance's house. While snooping around, they stumbled upon his uncle's PC and found a seriously sussy video file. Curiosity won, they hit play. Kaori froze in horror. Turns out her NPC fiancé and his uncle were also creators on Only Otaku, but their content catered to a very different audience. Let's just say, it was more focused on boys' love. Cut to fat Velma, who somehow tumbled into a drain overflowing with fish protesters. They swarmed her like she was a walking buffet, and things got weird fast. As she flailed to escape, we spotted Erika among the protesters, now fully Team Fish. She didn't lift a finger to help Velma. Instead, she just watched, oddly mesmerized by Velma's gluttony, like it was performance art. Realizing the truth, and that things were way past saving, Kaori and Shirakawa made a break for it. Their plan? Escape through the back door, the classic safest route according to every cheating wife. But just as they slipped out, they were ambushed. Protesters flooded the alley, and it wasn't just fish anymore. Civilians had joined the revolution. Surrounded by protesters, Kaori did the only logical thing. She grabbed Shirakawa, used him as a human shield, and sprinted for his boat and then abandoned him like a dumpster baby. Behind her, the world had plunged into chaos. The fish revolution had gone global. World War Fish had officially begun. But somewhere far from the madness, aboard a creaky ship drifting through open waters, Kaori stood at the edge, wind in her hair, smirking at the irony. So many had died for someone else's cause, and she somehow had lived to watch the credits roll.
And guys, this is the complete explanation for GYO Tokyo Fish Attack movie. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like and comment on what movie should I make my next video on. Until then, stay safe and be sussy.